What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Body Studios. We're going to start off with another thumbnail creation video. This is more of a highlight and a how-to. We're going to create this awesome glow effect from this green stuff world brush rinser box. We did an unboxing and I want to create an awesome thumbnail for that. As you can see, we went ahead and selected just a random brush here, and what we're going to do is we're going to lower the opacity of this layer and this paint strokes. And what we're going to do is I selected a light gold color for this layer. We're going to go ahead and be very messy with it. Even if you go over it a few times and you increase the opacity of that layer, it's completely fine. We're going to do multiple layers, and then we're going to layer them together one at a time until we can get the overall glow effect. Make sure we apply that glare to my glasses there. We need to make sure that kind of translates there. It just gives it a really nice effect when it's all like together and the same. We're going to select gauge on blur there, and we're going to gauge on blur that layer individually. We need to find that perfect blend there to create the overall halo type of effect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly introduce other layers as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to do the glasses and the actual box glow separately. That way if I need to edit them individually, I can do so. So right now I'm just trying to erase a little bit here and there so that way I can create my own glow effect on the glasses. Create another layer here. Changing the color slightly, I decided to go with more of a green glow. So what we'll do is we'll start to work towards our greens. We're going to up the opacity a little bit, and we're going to be a little bit more random with this here. Kind of cascade it out and around, and we're going to thicken that color up just a little bit. We're going to do the same gauge on blur layer, but you just kind of need to think about where you want the major colors and glow to be sourcing from. Applying another layer here, and we're going to go ahead and work on the glasses. Here's applying those glares to the edges of the rim of my glasses here, and we're going to go ahead and gauge on blur that layer on my glasses. Select the previous layer, and we're going to gauge on blur that as well. Now you can see that really thickened out that overall color quite a bit. Just find that perfect zone. I want the back lid of the box to be slightly visible if possible. So you just got to find that perfect balance you're looking for. Creating another layer here. I'm going to layer two layers here, and we're going to put one above the glasses. Now we're going to select a little bit of a bright neon green here. We're going to go ahead and just kind of start going around the outside edges of that. And what we're going to do is we want the top part of the glow to have a bright yellow effect, and then we want to have a kind of a splattered a green effect around. I really wasn't liking that, and I do come back in a few moments and redo that. Here's a layer on the glasses as well. We're going to go ahead and gauge on blur those as well. There, it kind of makes it a little bit multi-layered kind of glare there. We're going to blend those together, so we're going to combine those layers. And as the camera kind of jumps here, you can see I did wipe that layer out completely. I just was not feeling it. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and delete this layer, and we're just going to try that again. I felt like it was just way too opaque over the yellow. It covered the back of the box even when it was gauge on blurred. And we're just going to go ahead a little bit and do this a little bit lighter here. Try to keep some of that yellow hue on the upper portion of the gauge on blur. Now what we're going to do is I'm here in a few moments going to add like a fairy light type of look to it. And this is going to be a really cool feature for the overall thumbnail. So trying to erase a little bit of that there. It's supposed to be visible from the edge of that little white crease there on the lip of the box. I want to make sure that I can kind of capture as much of that as possible, so that way it just kind of looks nice and uniform. And you just got to figure out where you want those colors to be visible from. Lowering the opacity of the entire layer. Kind of find that kind of blend there. So you just need to kind of fade the colors a little bit until you get really happy with how it overall looks. I decided to take a little bit of that green away. Let's lessen that just quite a bit. And let's do multiple layers here. So we're going to go ahead and kind of just make this a center halo effect. Gauge on blur that. There you go. Now you can see that it's like multi-layer. Yellow on top, yellow on the bottom, and green in the middle. We're going to also lower the opacity of that just a little bit so it has just like a nice like a haze effect over that. So as you can see, a lot of these layers are just create a layer, use the gauge on blur, use the opacity tool until you can kind of get the overall hazy look that you need. Creating a new layer here. And we're gonna go ahead and give it a kind of a splotchy fairy light effect. Be very random with this. I'm just literally tapping my drawing pencil on the iPad here, just being very free with it. We're gonna go ahead and gauge blur those as well. Now remember, that's still a separate layer. We're gonna create a new layer. And then we're gonna go ahead and change the color slightly. We're gonna brighten the color even more here. And in that new layer, we're gonna go ahead and just use the drawing tool here. We're gonna lower the size of the brush, and we're gonna go ahead and go over these darker color gauge blurred fairy lights with brighter colors here. And it's gonna kind of give it like a faded background effect. But they're gonna be very bright against that dark background that we had already applied to this thumbnail. Now we're gonna be very free with this. It doesn't have to be just out of control, but you can use this as you see fit. You know, you can continuously blend in new colors and then change them if you want to. And if you don't like that layer after it's blurred, just delete it and then start that layer all over again. Once I get happy with how it looks, I'll kind of blend that color down into the layer from before. And at the end of the video, we'll have two or three layers where we're just blended down into different sections here. All right, so this time I changed it back to a little bit of a yellow color here, and we're gonna go over the outside lip of the box here. Now this is supposed to be where it has the actual glow effect coming from the actual box itself. So we're starting off, so we've already went through a lighter color of yellow. We went through 2 layers of green, a darker green and a lighter green, and now this is like a little bit of a brighter, more opaque yellow. We're going to immediately create a new layer on that gauge blurred layer of brighter yellow there, and we're going to apply this to the outside rim. We're going to lower the brush size. It was way too thick there, and we're going to go ahead and go around the outside edge of the lip of the box here. We're going to make sure we bring that down that little crevice there, because that crevice on the lip of the box would have light coming through it. And we're going to also create like a webbing effect right there on the edges of the corners. And it's just going to create a really cool glow effect. Now that's where the look of light is coming from. And you just gotta find that perfect balance there. I'm gonna go ahead and gauge blur that a little bit, not going out of control. Don't overdo it. Then we're going to combine those layers there, combine them all the way down. Now we have an entire glowing box effect. We're going to go ahead and go over the outside edge of that with a little bit of a darker yellow here. Just a little bit. Is an even smaller brush than before with the lighter color white. Kind of creating a little bit of a lightning effect here. We're going to gauge blur that as well, and we're zooming out quite a bit there, and you want to almost make it to where that's non-existent at all. It's the smallest color that's trying to show through there, and it really doesn't have to be very strong. So trying to find that perfect balance here, and then we're going to zoom out there. Looking pretty good. You can also make that layer disappear there, so I'm checking the box to make it disappear, zoomed all the way out to where if I didn't like it, I'll just delete it. I do like that, so I'm going to go ahead and combine that down. Now I'm going to lower the opacity of my my eraser tool here. I'm going to gently erase a little bit of that. I felt like it was just a little bit too prominent in some areas, but we're barely erasing anything. We're just basically just fading that out a little bit without fading out the entire layer. If I selected the entire layer, I could completely lower the opacity of it if I wanted to, but I didn't feel like I needed to do that. Very good. So it's combined all the way down now into one single layer, and that layer is the complete box glow effect. Now the fairy lights are still separate. Remember that. We're going to go ahead and select the glasses layer, and we're going to apply a yellow gauge blur to that. Very nice. Creating another layer here. I'm going to highlight and add the bright highlights to my glasses here. We're going to do that in a very more splotchy manner. That way some of those other colors from before can really shine through there. Looking pretty good. Now you gotta make sure that those circulates of brush strokes are still visible a little bit there. You don't want it to be all gauge blurred and faded away, but you just need it to be a little bit there, you know? Some of that like bright colors and lights need to be showing in the glasses, and it really adds a lot of character to the overall thumbnail. trying to make sure that the overall fairy lights are reflecting the same in both glasses. So I am just trying to zoom out and make sure I get them in the exact same place. And we're going to fade those out a little bit. Again, making sure that some of those circlets of color are really visible there. Looking pretty good, you guys. Now, I will also go ahead, and I felt like going above and beyond and creating the fairy light effect coming swooping down over the right-hand side of the box, down across my chest, and then also up in behind the nice brush rinser here that I have in my other hand. So I do go ahead and do that, and it really just creates a really cool effect, and it really draws the eye. The whole glowing effect is the point of this YouTube video, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed this 2x speed creation process. Obviously, when I was creating this for the first time, it took me about 30 minutes or so. But after I've created it once or twice, I'm able to do it within about 5 to 6 minutes maybe, if I really push to rush through the process. But I find that YouTube thumbnail creation videos also pushes me to create more digital art, even if it's just kind of rudimentary and just fun. It really allows me to kind of push those envelopes. Kind of zooming in here to try to see if I like how it looks overall. There you can see where the fairy lights come down and around, and kind of like almost like a swooping swoosh rainbow effect type of thing, like a rainbow road of green and fairy lights, and it really looks cool. Zoomed all the way out. We'll zoom in and out quite a few times here towards the end of this creation process to make sure that it looks adequate there. Now, the overall part that comes across my chest and then up back, it does blend into my green shirt just a little bit, and that's completely fine. I did incorporate some of the same yellows that I had used for the actual box glowing effect as well. Now, of course, you could do this in any color you wanted. You could also do this in just some basic colors and then change the saturation and the brightness to get different colors from the same effect if you wanted to. What do you think, you guys? I hope you guys enjoyed this overall creation of this awesome box glow effect. You will find this in the tips and tricks or in the YouTube creation and the thumbnail playlist. Make sure you check out some of my other videos. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Which one looks better? I think the doctored one in Procreate does too. Thank you.